Digitalisering gör att kunder får helt nya utmaningar och det ska vi prata med nu med Marin som är CTO Cisco EMEAR Enterprise Networking. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, what kind of problems or what kind of things are customers actually struggling with today?
Yeah. So first of all, in my role as the CTO in Europe for Enterprise Networking, I meet with many customers that are looking at evolving their infrastructure. And today, the big question is digitization, but what do we need to do to evolve our infrastructure to embrace digitization, right? As a customer, if I need to deploy, operate, design my network, how do I need to embrace digitization? So there are a number of things they are faced with, and the first one is service agility. How do I deploy the service very rapidly in a very agile way to my users in my environment? How do I evolve those services? How do I change those services? So from a networking standpoint, this is the big challenge. How do I adapt to the demands of the line of businesses that want to embrace digitization?
Yeah. So what is your answer?
So the answer is, it's not a simple answer. There are multiple aspects to it. But essentially the way we are evolving our networking solutions, it's going to be a big shift, right? Networking in 5 years from now will have almost nothing to do with how we've been doing networking the past decade, right?
Okay, interesting. So can you elaborate that a little bit?
Yeah, so for example, how do we make those infrastructure, those networks very agile and programmable, right? So for us in networking, we had to evolve our infrastructure so that they are very programmable and that they can adapt to the ever-changing needs of applications. So that's what we call software-defined infrastructure, software-defined networking, and we do that across the board in our portfolio.
Yeah, and you have a launch today.
Yeah, so we're at Cisco Live, so there is a big launch around the wide area network and the software-defined wide area network, right? So we are announcing a set of solutions around how do we design wide area network with very specific solutions that are agile, virtualized, and delivered in software. And again, this is a completely new way of operating and designing the wide area network for our customers.
Yeah, and what kind of reaction do you think the customers will have to this?
So with new solutions that are going to impact how they design and operate their network, there'll be a number of reactions. There will be the very early adopters, and we're already working in Europe and actually in Sweden with customers that are investigating and piloting that solution. And then you will have another set of customers that are going to wait for those early pioneers, early adopters to test it and show that it's actually meeting their needs, right?
Okay.
But the reaction is very positive because customers know that's how networking needs to evolve, and we are very early in that process anyway.
Okay. So what kind of customers does this solution attract?
So right now, the customers we're working with are mostly mid-sized to large customers for the reason that usually when you introduce new solutions like that, you also need to have IT staff that are able to dedicate some resources. But it's really across the different verticals or the different industries. We have examples with service providers, we have examples with retail, manufacturing, banking. I was on a meeting this morning with a big European bank that are looking at the software-defined infrastructure for their network. So it's kind of across the board, because when it comes to digitization, we know it impacts already and will impact all industries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.